Kevin here from the Chord Progression Podcast, the podcast by young rock and metal fans discover new music and find places they connect and feel accepted. On this clip from our episode with Eric from the band Machines, we talk about the music cycle and understanding what the music cycle is, and we make sure that maybe your songs are going to do the best they possibly can and becoming the best student of music that you can be. Before we jump into it, though, hit that like button to make sure you're pushing this video in the algorithm. Make sure more people know about Machines and the Chord Progression Podcast so we can bring more of these great new bands and the best bands in rock metal today to everyone else and get them to know even more about them in the best conversations you possibly are going to hear. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, though, hit the subscribe button right down there. We release episodes every single Tuesday and Thursday. We have reaction clips like this all throughout the week. And, of course, our Friday song reactions as well. Without further ado, let's get to it.
It's knowing the cycle of where that's at, man. And I've just, like I said, I studied that and I was watching and it's like, man, like, it's just, I mean, I still, all of these songs have their meanings and subconscious meanings and where they came from. And most of it is somewhat, current, and other stuff is past stuff, or, maybe somebody gave me another idea or something like that. Or I've even tried aspects of writing off some other shit I see, just not integrating it from my life. But at the end of the day, a lot of it does come from deep down our lives, whether it be myself, Los, Nick, Garrett, it comes from us somewhere within, and that's, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's as you watch, well, who is the Bottle of Jack girl? Kesha, but Kesha, like when that whole thing started, and it started to turn probably previous to her, but that all went to, I remember I was bartending during that time, man. And it's just like the songs that were popular were party and vibey songs. They weren't down negative songs. Whereas what was selling out festivals during grunge era was not pop happy crap. It was down stuff. It was, man, like, okay, yeah, man, that's about, man. But I'll tell you what, you go see an Alice in Chains, so they're still packing it in because those fans, I still would go see it too. Those fans, absolutely, I responded. I know that life, that I know exactly how Lane felt. I know the disconnect that you feel from people when you get so far out. I know it. So I know where he wrote from. And it's like, dude, and it's hard for me not to connect with that and then go to that point to write again, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, man, I feel you on a lot of those things. If you really read those lyrics and you really hear how he's saying that stuff, it's like, damn, dude, you were living in hell. Like you had it great, but at the end of the day, you didn't have it great. You were living in hell. And that's not, my dad was a musician and still is a musician, man. He's a cover musician. And I remember like that being my biggest influence. And he's a partier, dude. And when I started getting really out there, he was like, dude, like, you gotta you gotta look at life differently. Life's not negative like that, man. These guys are gone because this is, it either goes that way or you get out of it. And he goes, I'm coming for me. And he still drinks probably a 12-pack a night, but at the end of the day, it made sense enough to me when I got it changed around. When I finally did get sober, I was like, yeah, you're right, man. Like I'm either going to keep going this route and I'm always going to end up with these results. And I might write a hit. I might write something. I might write my nutshell. I might write something crazy there that just catches on. But at the end of the day, if I'm dead and I can't be a dad and I can't perform this stuff, like I do want to see things through. And I say that from the other side, which, if you do the percentages, man, not a lot of people make it out of that. And so it's just, like I said, it's finding that, that's why, like I said, Charlie Puth or Adam Levine, dude, they've got this science down to know like what just grasps with people. And that's, I love it because it no matter what people's take on that artist, it's a positive message and it makes people have a good time and it makes them feel upbeat and positive and whatever scenario it is, whether it's a club or whether they're out on a patio eating dinner or what, and so with rock, that's a little bit more, you got to kind of, fade in there. But if you fade in there enough, my idea is to go like, okay, cool. How can I fade in and get pop fans, but still keep rock fans and not have them hate me?
Okay, so let's jump into all that because there's a lot to unpack there. First things first, when it comes to knowing the music cycle, again, he put it out there perfectly when he was bartending around, 2009, 2010, and TikTok by Kesha dropped, and you take a look at everything that happened after there, people were responding to much more of that party, happy, more carefree kind of vibe. And when it came down to music, that's the music that was going to be hitting. That was the music that was going to be represented. I think about even like rock and metal in the 2009, 2010, what was going to be hitting a lot more, especially like the Warped Tour scene and the bands that were maybe putting heavier music out there, but still had more of this upbeat feel to it. I mean, that was a perfect time for We Came as Romans to drop To Plant a Seed. Let's not be, ignorant to that fact. And then when you brought up about, grunge bands in the 90s when they were headlining festivals because people were digging that more negative emotion, that more downtrodden feel because that's what they were experiencing, it absolutely hit. And what Eric's dad said about, the guys that used to just sit in that forever and write from that, you can write from that, but if you sit in that forever, those guys don't last forever. They're gone. Lane Staley is gone, and it is sad, yes, but it helped Eric get out of that mindset. But also when it comes to just seeing, as time goes on, the music cycle is going to change. People will respond generationally, and you take a look at what each generation, like you'll take a look at Gen X. I mean, of course, once everything was always happy, upbeat, go, but maybe life wasn't as good as it was being presented, so they connected with the negative emotion from grunge and from some of the new metal stuff. From millennials, we really connected with more of that pop punk style, and because it kind of had that little bit of like positive, but also had more of that like deeper meaning to it at times, some of the more personal topics. Emo really hit, and then of course as time went on, more pop music, more of the party vibe really started hitting once again. And now as time goes on, more of the real topics are hitting. When it comes to you writing your music, of course, I'm always prone of writing exactly what you want to write and putting your art out the way you want to put it out there. But when it comes to, okay, maybe take a look at what's hitting right now. Take a look at the style of what's hitting right now. Not chasing trends, but how can you integrate some of these emotions that are really hitting right now into your music so it still sticks with your core style so you can bring in more fans while not alienating, the fans that you absolutely have. Say you're a metal band. Say, like, we'll use metalcore as an example. Say you're a metalcore band and you love the heavy stuff, but right now maybe some more of this stuff that like Bad Omens is doing popular, or what Bring Me the Horizon do, because Bring Me the Horizon is doing pretty much whatever the heck they feel like at this point. Or, take a look at pop music with some more of the other things that are coming out with it. Maybe you take a look at that and wonder, okay, why are they hitting? What are some of the beats that are around there? What are some of the tempos around there that are absolutely hitting? Why are they hitting? And how can I integrate that into my style so that maybe you can create a metalcore song that's going to be absolutely hit heavy and hard, that's going to want us to go and break stuff in the pit. However, it's going to be somewhere pop fans are like, oh my God, I absolutely love the flow of this. I want to get into it. It's something for you guys to absolutely try out. Become a student of music, because you can become a mad scientist with this stuff, like I said in the last reaction clip. Become a mad scientist with this stuff. It's freaking awesome. It's your art. Do with it as you will. But if you're a student of music, you can pull up in so many different ways, so many different things, and create some of the coolest stuff ever. Look at Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. Once Jordan Fish got put in the mix, oh boy, Bring Me the Horizon went from a band that a lot of people knew in the metalcore scene, deathcore scene, in that Warped Tour scene that really liked them, but now they headline and download. Enough said. So I want to thank Eric from Machines for being on this episode of the podcast. If you want to watch the full episode, links to the description of this video, let's be clear. The links for the audio version, Spotify, Podcast, iHeart, and Amazon are down there as well. If you like this video, hit that like button. Make sure you put in the comments what you thought about that. If you are a student of music, what you think about Eric's take on this, my take on this. Feel free to be positive, negative, however you want to be. If you subscribe to this channel, I want to give you a huge thank you for supporting the Chord Progression Podcast. If you're not subscribed, the subscribe button is right there, so go and hit it. And on that note, thank you guys for watching this one. This is Kevin, and I'm out!